What's going on, everyone? So we have an interesting video here, highlighting a couple of fools. Y'all know I've done this before. Drinking some sake here, great stuff. Purest drink in the world, absolutely love it. I filled it up to the brim. We're still going here. But Bruv over here, a couple of fools says that PlayStation is dead and you killed it. He's talking to the Sony base. Now, what's interesting about this, man, sake's great, is that he's kind of calling out the fanboys for being online, typing a lot on Twitter, being toxic to other communities rather than playing games and supporting PlayStation games. And I'm going to say this right at the beginning before we get started. And a lot of people don't know this because this didn't become a trend till the end of the PS3 era, and that's only for a few games. Definitely going to the PS4 era too. Most people that buy a PlayStation don't buy it for first party. That's the crazy part. I've been trying to tell people this for years that the PlayStation is the only console in gaming history where people don't buy it for exclusives. It's grown in the PS4 era, and you see it a bit in the PS5 era, but for the most part, Sony was always major third party vampires and hosting a bunch of other people's games and locking them away from other platforms. Whereas when people bought an Xbox back then, it's because of Halo blowing up. When people buy a Nintendo, the attachment rate of a Nintendo game is like 50, 60% of the install base. You know what I mean? 70, right? It's like insanely high. Um, and they create their own games. When you bought a Sega game, a console, you bought it for Sega games, right? They had other games too, but there was a balance there. On PlayStation, it's straight other people's games. Just to be real, I've had people come in the comments tell me sometimes, "Oh, I don't get a PlayStation for first party games. I get it to play third party games." That's why they were so worried about Call of Duty. Yeah, it's mostly other people's games. So let's get into this. Like, comment, subscribe. It's going to be an interesting one. Nothing like some good rock. Yeah.
You know, PlayStation fans, if you put your money where your mouth was, if you invested as much time and resources into actually supporting the PlayStation and buying its first party games, instead of just typing away on Twitter endlessly, PlayStation wouldn't be suffering the way it is. Trust me when I say, everything that's happening right now, all the game cancellations, bruv, all 9 of them, all the studio shutdowns, the fact that the PlayStation games are all coming out on PC, that is on you because you don't support your own platform, my guy.
Okay, so I like that he's very honest about just the way that he thinks and feels about things too. Something that I want to add in because I'm not going against him. I actually like this guy. We have a kinship. He follows me. I subscribe to him. He subscribes to me. And I know he knows this too. This is what I mean by like he's a positive person actually, but he's kind of getting fed up. I can tell by the way he started the video. He's getting tired of the toxicity. The majority of the fault is definitely on Sony too, but a part like he's saying too is definitely with the base because as I said at the beginning of the video, um, PlayStation people do not support PlayStation IPs. They support other people's games mostly. There is a portion of people that do support it, and he's part of that. I'm part of it. I've showed my platinums. I have 54 damn platinums. I've bought in every PlayStation first party exclusive just to experience them. Some of them I might have waited on sale, and most of them I've been there since day one, definitely in the PS4, PS3 era. But when it comes to other platforms, they support their games more. PlayStation base supports their base the least. They're over there buying other people's games. And that's a fact. So what he's saying is actually true. But I just wanted to add in that Sony's made so many mistakes this generation. PlayStation VR failed. Concord flopped. All these Gas Rush titles flopped. They ruined Naughty Dog's game. They ruined Sony Ben Studios' game. I mean, the Blue Point 2, they ruined their game. They could have been making something. They've made so many mistakes. And that's why I don't get why the PlayStation base is so blind attacking the Xbox base, not realizing the mistakes that are made on the PlayStation side. Attacking somebody like me, you know what I mean, bro? I get it a lot too, bro. Let me tell you, it's pretty crazy, man. I see you're getting it a lot too. And people just need to understand, man. Like, try to look at the full picture and stop being stuck in the fanboy mentality. Right? Give credit where it's due too. Stop being intellectually dishonest because it gets a little bit ridiculous after a while. And we're all great people, but everybody has their limits. Even God has his limits. So let's continue.
It's funny that people talk bad about me because I'm enjoying Xbox Series X. They like to type away at me. But I'm a bigger PlayStation fan than most you people will ever be because I turned up and I supported it. Guys, you wouldn't believe how little the PlayStation community actually support the PlayStation. Let me just give you a few examples so then we can get some context as to what is actually happening when it comes to PlayStation. Astrobot 2, bro. Game of the year 2024.
It didn't sell that much.
Very successful. What percentage of PlayStation users turned up to buy this game? 60%? 50? 40? 20? No.
Watch this, bruv. See what he just said? This is actually very important. Now watch this. And you gotta think about it. This game exists because of Nintendo. It's probably higher than that now. Super Mario Odyssey as of September 30th, 28 million. We see this right here? Remember, Astrobot really is a lot of combinations of different Mario games. Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Odyssey, and Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. This is the difference. Look at the Nintendo base. 28.21 million.
I mean, you can try and spin that any way you want, but that is a pathetic turnout for a first-party PlayStation game. But what about the rest of them in the library? Let's take a look. God of War Ragnarok. Kratos versus Vikings, my guy. Surely the PlayStation fans turned up in mass numbers to buy this game, to get their hands on Kratos versus Thor. Surely. How much percentage do you think arrived? Well, not just those titles, man. It's across the board, bruv. Demon Souls. Look at that. What is that, bruv? That's an abysmal number. It's the same. Horizon. Look at that turnout, my guy. It's appalling. Where are you people? Why aren't you putting your hands in your pockets and supporting your games? Ghost of Tsushima, my guy. Wait, is that right? Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of that game. Look at these numbers.
And for PlayStation, that's actually amazing. Like, that's the way Sony's looking at it. But when you look at Nintendo's attachment ratio, it's insanely high. Like, he's talking about attachment ratio, right? So if we go to Nintendo attachment ratio, you know what I mean? Like, if you look at that, it's like 36.5%. Average. That's like average. It's like every game on there, period. There's some that have like 50, 60%. You know what I mean? And it says about why they get that, because they love that community, right? PlayStation users do not love the PlayStation first-party community. They love supporting other people's games. I'm here to back him up on that. You know what I mean? We got a brother kindred spirit going here. And what he's saying is actually true. You know what I mean? You can't argue against the facts and a percentage. Most PlayStation games on average are like 4%, 3%. You know what I mean? Astrobot is very low. We know they money had it for a lot of things too. You just can't trust that stuff. Look, guys, I'm going to tell you right now. Astrobot, you can 100% the game in 14 hours. Mario Odyssey, to 100% Mario Odyssey, let's do this right here. I'm just going to tell you something. It's not no Mario Odyssey. People get deceived. 100%, right? It would take 62 hours to complete the game 100%. If you're good, right? It takes some people 80 to 100 hours. They've added a ton of DLCs after that, by the way. Content that goes over 100 plus hours. Watch this. Astrobot, 100%. Right? Let's just go to PowerPix. We can find it. This guy says that it would take you 17 and a half hours, but I've seen some people do it in 14. I say, is this an example though? Mario Odyssey is massively bigger.
Bro. And of course Sony are making money on them. Look, let's not get this twisted. They're not going broke. Sony aren't like losing money. They're earning profit on all of these games, despite the small turnout. Because it's still At a full price game, they're making money. But when you pair that with some terrible decision making, like Concord, which cost them what? $500 trillion? They're trying to find a way to make more money, my guy, right?
We don't want that.
So live service games, they bring in the money consistently, all the time. These games like Ragnarok cost like what, 200 million to make. But people that buy that game once, they finish it, they're done, they don't earn no more money on Ragnarok. And this is sad for me, and this means that the future of PlayStation, the PlayStation we know and love is dead. It's dead, and you killed it, bruv. You did, not me. I was there buying Ragnarok months in advance. I pre-ordered it. Spider-Man 2, I bought it. Speaking of Spider-Man 2, look at these numbers. I don't even have money, Mike. I am broke. I am a normal everyman. I have enough money to pay my bills, my rent, but I don't really have that much money. But I am there, full price, day one. Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, Shadow of the Colossus, Last of Us 1, Last of Us 2, Uncharted. Every single time I was there. These single-player, narrative-driven, cinematic masterpieces, I love that shit. I embrace that shit. I grew up with that. To now see a future where Sony are looking at it from a business model point of view and thinking, you know what? I don't think it's sustainable anymore. So we're going to keep making remakes. Because remakes get us a bigger return with less investment.
Yep, and they don't know what to do.
We're going to make live service games. We're going to go down that route. That means we're going to see less and less and less of these AAA cinematic stories, and that to me is heartbreaking. I don't think it's good for anyone. It's not good for gaming. It's just not good. I think, and the other thing is, what people aren't talking about is the culture over on PlayStation was built on those experiences. We take away that from PlayStation, then they've lost their identity. You literally killed your own system, bro.
They been have done that. And let me add in another thing, brother. Sony used to be Japanese majorly in PS1, PS2 days. I've been gaming for 31 years. I know I got the sun tracks. I look young. I haven't shaved or anything. I know a little bit rough wintertime, But yeah, like he said though. So that's something to think about though. When it comes to Sony, they are definitely that cinematic rush experience. They have already changed their identity from Japanese to a Western European cinematic movie rush at the end of the PS3 era. Before, it was a lot more Japanese than before. That's why Japan, like 90% supports Nintendo. Sony has been losing their identity more and more as time goes on compared to what it used to be before. Now it's worse than ever. That's a fact.
Because you're too busy targeting me and targeting anyone else who enjoys Xbox. You're too busy on Twitter and on forums and on Reddit saying how great the PlayStation is, but you don't actually buy any of their stuff. So thanks for that. And I'm not enjoying what's happening to PlayStation. I think it's terrible and I think it's sad. And I like to make quite positive content when I'm not trolling you guys. I like to be quite positive about gaming, but this isn't positive. Yeah. This is a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? And I just worry now because what? We might not get another God of War game. There might not be another one because of how much investment it takes at the front end. Like, they're going to slash the budget now on every AAA game they make. Every single player game, that budget is going to be cut, bruv. It's not going to be the same as it was. I mean, people can downplay it and they'll downplay it. But let's be honest. Spider-Man 2 multiplayer, gone. Bungie's new game, dead. Ben Studio's new project, which was years in development, gone. Like this, if this was Xbox, if a game was cancelled on Xbox, Xbox would be dead. Everyone would be preaching about how Xbox has nothing, how it's a dead platform. But now we have 9 cancelled projects in the face of all the losses they made with Discord and the fact that PlayStation fans don't even turn up to buy their games. This is dire. And
number 10 is about to come, bro. They better cancel Fair Game because that's not going to be good either. He's right about that. And with that, obviously they need to get back to AAA single player because they realize that that is the only way, but they're going to think about the budgets. You kind of have to, but stop focusing on hyper realistic, detailed games and just make video games. Everything already looks so good.
Yes, I'll say it again. It's your fault. You know, I am not a fanboy. Although I'm enjoying my time on the Xbox, I'm not going to stand here and slander PlayStation and say that this is a good thing, or I'm happy about it, or, you know, to PlayStation. No, I think this is sad. I think this is sad, I do. I don't like this at all. Now granted, listen, I am not a news channel. My news is never going to be as accurate, as informative. I'm just speaking passionately here, right? What do you think? Do you think that the Sony first-party exclusive games that we're used to seeing are dead and gone? Or do you think they will return? I do see a future where Sony have to put them on Xbox. I do. And that's your fault. If that happens, don't cry about it. Don't moan about it. Don't make videos complaining about it. Oh my God, God of War on Xbox. You did that. You and your people did that, bro. So don't cry to Sony. Don't cry about it. Go to your own community and ask them where they was. Where were they? That's the question you need to ask. Because, bruv, I was there. And I have receipts to back it up. Anyway, bruv nation,
So was I.
until next time.
Yeah, so what he's saying makes a lot of sense too, because like I said, if you look at the Nintendo base, they fully support Nintendo. Right? Let's get ready for this. I did this a couple times. Woo! I don't need to go PC, right? Published and developed all by Nintendo? 64 million, 46 million, 35 million, 32 million, 28 million, 26 million, 25 million, 21 million, 20 million, 17, 15 million, 15 million, 15 million, 14 million. It's a slaughterhouse. You can't compete with them. They've gained the loyalty and trust of their base since the 90s. Nintendo fans don't change. They don't mess up that much either. Hardly ever. In a PlayStation world, you're not going to see these first party numbers. They're buying third party games. That's just the reality, you know what I mean? We're just looking at the reality here. That's just the way that it works. And they have to go elsewhere because they can't do this. If you were able to do that, you wouldn't need to go PC. But both have done that. It's just facing reality. And of course, you don't want to see any platform die. If you're a gamer, you want gaming to thrive in general. You want to play good games everywhere, right? Because it's about games, not about your label on a AMD machine nowadays, right? Either on the Xbox or PlayStation, Nintendo. I know they're in the video, but even then, you get what I mean. Are you guys real gamers, or are you just trying to push a label and a company? I'm where good games are at. You know what I mean? It's always been that way. That's why I support it. Oh no. But this is a good video. Let's get into it. Like, comment, subscribe. All right, y'all. Peace out.